This week on The Travel Detective, the U.S. State Department is now warning Americans against travel to a number of states in Mexico. In my book, that may be painting with too broad a brush. And to prove the point, I went to the state of Sinaloa and then left the resort so I could share with you my hidden gems of Mazatlán. That's our cover story. Plus, Baltimore is a city originally settled in the 17th century. Today, it's going through an impressive cultural renaissance, featuring a convergence of artists, designers, and chefs. And I'll show you how to live there, like a local. And then, a travel warning about free Wi-Fi connections in public spaces. Why you may be making yourself an easy target for hackers. I'm Peter Greenberg. All this and more on this edition of The Travel Detective. Many first-time visitors come to Mazatlán by cruise ship. Let's face it, they're only here for 8 hours. They hardly see the place. And for the return American visitors, many come for the beaches or to go sport fishing in the Sea of Cortez. But once again, they hardly see the culture, the history, or the food explosion in this Mexican city of 600,000 people. I've been lucky. I've been coming here since I'm 23. So let me share with you my hidden gems of Mazatlán. Located in the Mexican state of Sinaloa, Mazatlán sits on the country's west coast, directly east of Baja California, where the Sea of Cortez meets the Pacific Ocean. Mazatlán was inhabited by indigenous peoples until it was invaded and settled by the Spanish in 1531. During the mid-1800s, an influx of German immigrants led to the development of Mazatlán seaport, and invasions by the French and the British in the late 19th century contributed to the city's distinctly European feel, particularly in the Centro Histórico. And that historic district, including the heart of the old city, the Plaza Machado, has been undergoing a renaissance, which began with the restoration of the iconic Angela Peralta Theater in 1992. The theater originally opened in 1874 and operated continuously until 1964, when it fell into disrepair. It was slated for demolition in the mid-1980s, but the city decided to save it from the wrecking ball. And today, it is one of Mazatlán's most important cultural treasures. The surrounding plaza and cobblestone streets of the Centro Histórico are filled with art galleries, bars, boutiques, sidewalk cafes, and restaurants, making this a great place to walk around and take in the sights. And you really shouldn't miss the Museo de Arte. The original building is from 1896, and while the building may be old, the galleries are modern and spacious, showcasing works by both contemporary and classic artists. But the best part, the museum is more than just paintings and drawings. It's a cultural celebration of all the arts.
Museo de Arte de Mazatlán is a community space. It's the visual arts, but we have workshops also with foreign artists and national artists. We have programs for children. We have schools visiting us, and we do a hard work calling the schools and inviting them, because we do lots of work and we need as much as people to see it. Language is art, so when a kid comes and takes part with Mexican kids, magic happens. They just have fun, they just make art and enjoy.
Most tourists to the Centro Histórico never get to see the Jose Maria Pino Suarez Market, also known as the Central Market, but you should. It's been around since 1900, and that's where the locals shop for produce, meat, fish, cheese, all kinds of things. You can also grab lunch or do a little souvenir shopping while you're there. Then, have some fun. Hop on a pulmonía. Those are the little iconic taxis that you'll see all around the city that you won't find anywhere else. And another thing that's unique to Mazatlán is its malecón. There are three pretty cool things about the malecón. Number one, it's the longest in North America. You can ride it for about 4 miles. Number two, everybody from Jack Kerouac to Yul Brynner to John Wayne, even Herman Melville. Remember him, Moby Dick? They hung out here, and so much of that original architecture is still preserved. And then there's number 3. Hold on to your bike, because you're coming back later. As you ride along the Malecón, you might notice a lighthouse on a hilltop in the distance. At 515 feet high, El Faro is the highest operating lighthouse in the Americas. Now, you won't be able to take your bike up there, but if you want to walk, be prepared to climb over 300 steps to the top. Want a little getaway from the city? Stay on your bike and ride out to the water taxi dock. Once you're on the water taxi, you go by the big boats. Those are the overnight fares from La Paz. We're not going there. We're on the water taxi. About a 3-minute ride, that's all it is, over to a place called Stone Island. Stone Island is not actually an island at all, but a peninsula. Once off the water taxi, most visitors will find themselves here on this beautiful beach. Lots of restaurants and bars and lots of people. But the real secret is just 5 minutes away, and most travelers never see it. Even most people who live here don't know about this place. It's called Mazatlán, and it's a 5-acre botanical garden that is part of a prototype for a proposed sustainable city. Here you'll find native flowers, plants, fruit trees, and birds in 5 botanical environments, including butterfly and cactus gardens. And then, about 5 minutes away from the botanical gardens, you find yourself back on the beach. Now, officially it's called Los Picos de la Isla, but the locals just call it Picos. Ask, you find yourself here, and what's great about this place? Look behind me. You see a lot of people on the beach? My point exactly. After your day at the beach, ride your bike back to the Malecón for a little taste of Mazatlán nightlife. You won't find any tourists in this place. It's all locals. And the drinks, they're pretty good, but I gotta warn you, the margaritas here are very strong. So repeat these 2 words after me. Designated biker, as in, that would be you. I'm a seafood lover, so I know I've come to the right place. But if you're a shrimp lover, you're gonna be really happy. There's a reason that Mazatlán is sometimes referred to as the shrimp capital of the world. It's home to one of the largest shrimp fleets on the planet, with regular hauls of 40 tons. That's right, 40 tons of shrimp. And after spending the morning with some of the city's finest fishermen, I came back to the dock to meet up with a local chef who knows just a little bit about Mazatlán seafood. Good morning, Hector.
Good morning, Peter. You like shrimp?
I do.
Let's go.
All right. And he wanted to take me to meet the shrimp ladies. So this is the shrimp market.
Yes. I've been here for quite some decades, actually.
And every morning, day and night, this place is open.
At 5 in the morning, you can start shopping, and the last person to leave is about 8 o'clock at night.
So what are we going to use today?
So we make the stock for the spaghetti, and with this, we'll make the actual dish.
So these are the big ones.
Yes.
We got to go with the big ones.
Of course.
Go big or go home.
Indeed.
All right.
And if you want, you can actually ask them to clean it for you. Yeah.
Whoa!
Eso.
And then it
Ya le
breaks.
saca la vena.
Professional. Nice.
Fantastic.
Professional.
And they also have a restaurant there where they can cook it for you. See?
We buying her out? All right. So we got our shrimp.
Yes, we do. Now let's cook it.
So first we got to prepare.
Now, I'm just gonna cut my tomatoes in half.
Okay.
Meanwhile, put the water on, Peter.
Okay.
We take this pot, get it nice and warm, and we're gonna use garlic, we're gonna use salt, I'm gonna use basil, and I'm gonna use some pepperoncino.
Oh, this is scary stuff.
No, actually, it's very Italian. It's not even that hot, and we're only putting a little bit just to add a bit of heat, right?
Okay.
Okay, this is a combination of canola oil and olive oil. Okay, so this, I'm gonna season it, and then put them in there so they get nice color. You want to hear that noise, yeah?
Yeah. I hear that noise.
All right.
And what are we doing?
And then you can put a bit of the oil of this.
Yeah, how much do I put in? Is that good?
Yeah, don't put the garlic, just the oil.
Oh, just the oil. How do I do that?
Well, just do it like this. Opposite. You do that.
Ah.
Because we're gonna put the garlic on top at the end.
So now what do we do?
We're gonna drop our spaghetti.
Wow, look at that color. What kind of sauce are we doing?
Well, we're making a very simple tomato sauce, and we're gonna take advantage of all these flavors that are in the pan. And the tomatoes, you can dump them in there. All right, we'll put some basil leaves, yeah? And then, with this ladle, you're going to take some of this water, because this water has starch.
Yeah.
And it's gonna thicken my sauce, and it's gonna boil my tomatoes. The water will eventually evaporate, but it will help me cook faster.
Okay, oh, now you're mashing the potatoes.
With the back of the ladle, I'll just crush it like that. And I
Oh, look
turn
at
this
that.
off.
Cool.
So here's my stock, it's just prawn stock. And basically prawn stock is nothing but the shells roasted with tomatoes, just the salt right now. And now you put this in.
Okay, now they go in?
Yeah,
Stuff them in?
Now the olive oil. I'll do it like this and then you put it as I'm doing it. Yeah, that's it.
Got it.
Fantastic. Parsley, there we go. So you put the spaghetti
First.
a bit first. This is, Italian style food
In Mexico.
in Mexico. And I'm using the ingredients from Mazatlán. They're already there. It has to be hearty. You have to be generous.
And you kept the heads on, so they're in there too.
Yeah. I mean,
The whole thing. Now there's one thing missing.
yeah,
A fork.
indeed.
Aha.
There you go.
That was fast. He listened. All right, shall I try?
Yes.
So, from boat to dock to kitchen to mouth.
This is not your first day dish, though. This is when you're like well acquainted.
Well, are we well acquainted?
Indeed.
Chef, thanks,
Peter,
man.
a pleasure, eh?
This is great.
Yeah, thank you.
Amazing. Amazing. About 40 minutes from the city, at the base of the Sierra Madre mountain range, you'll find the rural town of El Quelite. The cobblestone streets, brightly colored homes, and the 19th century Lady of Guadalupe church might make you feel like you stepped back in time. But El Quelite is a working agricultural town that's home to about 1,700 residents. You can visit the little shops, then watch artists work on traditional handicrafts before sitting down to an authentic, rural Mexican lunch. It's a great little and largely unknown half-day trip from the city, and proof that there's more to the Pearl of the Pacific than just the beach. So there you have it, my take on the secret hidden gems of Mazatlán. But a reminder, that's just the appetizer.
I think that's an interesting thing.
This one piece will make 52 layers.
Watch on mobile devices or the big screen. All for free. No subscription required.
Next time you fly, you probably don't want to see one of these. It's a de-icing truck, and these babies have been getting plenty of use. Storms have frequently disrupted air travel, and not just in winter. Hurricanes, tornadoes, floods, you name it. And even some of those man-made storms, like computer system meltdowns. It's hard to say if storms are getting more frequent or more severe because of climate change, but it is clear that storms have gotten more disruptive for travelers. People can often get stranded for days. Airline flights are so heavily booked, there aren't many empty seats to move people whose flights get canceled. With no way to get home, what can you do? You need a plan, and you need your own command center. First, some plans can be really simple. If you're making a connection someplace with a bad weather forecast, see if you can leave early before storms hit or reroute to a connection with clear skies. If not, have phone numbers handy for hotels near the airport. If you do get stuck, it's best to call as soon as possible and get a room. Your own command center could be a good travel agent. This is one of the really big benefits of booking through a travel agency, especially one with a 24-hour helpline. Let the agent find you a hotel and new flights. Let the agent handle the refund you can get when your flight gets canceled. Let the agent call the airline and find you a seat. Agents have backdoor phone numbers to airlines. If you didn't buy with a travel agent, have an airline knowledgeable, online booking savvy friend or relative on standby, someone sitting at a desk. That's especially important if you're in a major storm situation like a hurricane in the Caribbean. You may find yourself cut off. No electricity, no cell phone service, no internet. If you are going to the islands in hurricane season or someplace else remote, you might invest in a satellite texting device. It costs around $400 and can be a lifesaver if there's no other way to communicate with home. Medical evacuation companies are now offering non-medical evacuation policies. They'll charter a private jet or do whatever it takes to get you out. And lots of companies have evacuation policies for their employees. If you're on vacation and not on a business trip, your company travel department may be able to get you home anyway. If worse comes to worse and you really do get stranded at the airport, don't hesitate to ask your airline for help. If the cause of the problem is weather, airlines won't pay for hotel rooms, but they do sometimes have vouchers for discounts, and they do have their own inventory of hotel rooms. If one of their crews gets stranded themselves, you might just be in luck.
When you think about Baltimore, Maryland, you got to think about American history. Take a look, the cobblestone streets, that's just one hint. If you're a sports fan, you got the Orioles for baseball, you got the Ravens for football. And look at the port behind me. It just tells one of the stories that makes the city so great. But beyond the port, there's more to the story. The city's had a cultural renaissance and is now home to artists, designers, chefs, you name it. So if timing's anything, that's why I'm here, to tell you how to experience Baltimore like a local. Originally settled in the 17th century, Baltimore rapidly grew as a seafaring and trading community. Thanks to its location near the Chesapeake Bay, it emerged as an industrial center. Over the years, those industrial buildings have been transformed into craft breweries, restaurants, even hotels. Like the Sagamore Pendry in Fells Point, overlooking the harbor. This 1914 building was once known to locals as the Wreck Pier. Now it's a 128-room luxury hotel on the water. The harbor doesn't just service large industrial ships. It also provides a means of transportation. Chef Jerry Trice and I met at the Waverly Market in Charles Village to gather ingredients for one of his signature oyster dishes.
All right, look at these guys are hiding down here. Get these radishes.
All right, radishes go in. Then we stepped right outside of the Sagamore Pendry to get to his restaurant in Brewers Hill. We did it the local way, by a water taxi. Once we reached the Canton Landing dock, we're just about 10 minutes away from his Brewers Hill restaurant, Gunther & Company. If I didn't know any better, I'd say we're just doing a salad here, but this is just the beginning.
Oh no, this is the beginning. This is mise en place. This is just some preparation.
And it's all about the oysters.
It's all about the oysters and fresh product, getting everything local as possible, fresh as possible. It's about creating relationships, really.
And one of those relationships is with the person bringing us the star of the dish.
Grow the oysters from larvae all the way up to a market size on my 25-acre lease down in the Great Wycomico River, and then I pull them out of the water and put them in my refrigerated van, drive them directly to restaurants here in Baltimore and down in DC and places in between. It takes 2 years for one of my oysters to get from larvae to a market size. I generally harvest between 3 and 3.5 inches. And every year we do a little bit better. The water quality gets a little bit better. The Chesapeake Bay gets a report card every year, put out by the University of Maryland, and we keep getting better grades.
After these oysters have made the journey south and have been shucked, we're ready to cook with them.
You're just going to line them up in there about like that. Shell side up to form a nice little cup. It says Thai chilies, fish sauce, lemongrass, ginger, a little red curry paste. All right, so we're going to put these in a super hot oven for about 4 to 6 minutes top. I'm going to put it kind of a little deeper in there. That butter's going to melt. Ready?
Yep. Oh yeah. Wow. Then, right down the street in the Remington neighborhood is Our House, Baltimore's newest food hall. This former body shop houses local food vendors offering up some healthy options, including kombucha on tap. But the food is only one part of the way this location embraces a healthy lifestyle. Head upstairs and you'll find the Movement Lab, where you can work off all that kale in the air. Movement Lab is an example of the increased health consciousness of Baltimore and a great example of creative use of converted space. Another transformed space in Baltimore is the old Lebo Brothers clothing factory. Now it's called OpenWorks. It's a co-op for Baltimore's designers, builders, and craftsmen. For $125 a month, members are given tools and resources for their trades, like 3D printing, digital fabrication, metalworking, and woodworking. One of the local craftsmen let me help him finish a project he's put together in his space. We're in the home stretch on this thing.
Yeah, so we're just gonna add some last minute hardware to firm it up and then sand it down a little bit to make sure nobody gets any splinters or things like that while they're climbing on it. If you could drill a hole right here in this piece, that way it'll go all the way through right now. Yeah. Okay, there you go. Back it out. Yeah, so now we got our hole.
How'd I do?
Did pretty well for a first time.
I drilled the hole. After sanding down the triangle, I went next door to observe artisan Elisa Brock combine laser technology with hand craftsmanship to create a set of books, both beautiful and practical. Hey, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm all right. So Elisa, what are we doing today?
Well, I'm gonna show you how to make a book.
How to make a book?
Yeah, how to make a book from scratch.
Elisa uses an industrial laser to make the covers for her books. First, she chooses her design and then calibrates the laser.
So the first thing I have to do is focus the laser to the wood so that it cuts properly.
When the laser is focused, she chooses a cutting speed and outlines the design area.
And once it's done, I'm gonna say frame it. And I'm gonna watch it make its way around this board or whatnot so that I can know that it's gonna cut within the dimensions that I gave it. Now it's ready.
Now we close the lid?
Now we close the lid.
And what button do I get to push?
Oh, you get to press start.
Right there?
Yeah, that's the one you want.
Here we go. All right. Nicely done.
Thank you.
I did nothing.
You did a lot.
Finally, the bookbinding begins. When the papers are folded and stacked and holes punched with an awl, Elisa sews her intricately designed wood cover to the paper.
And then we loop it across, like this.
So you're double stitching here, more or less.
Mm-hmm. We take it back to that same hole.
Now what about the back cover?
The back cover doesn't come until we finish with all our signatures. So like, as you see with this one, right?
Oh, I see.
We have to do it all the way across. So we're gonna bring that thing all the way back down and around. So you see, it's a very, it's very serious business.
It is indeed. After coming up with a design, Elisa says it takes her up to an hour just to produce one book. Just down the street in Druid Park, you'll find the Maryland Zoo. It's a very popular spot in Baltimore for locals who come to see bears, giraffes, and chimpanzees. But I was there on a different mission, to see penguins.
We have 7 penguins in here, and we use them for programs and encounters. So they go to senior centers, schools. They're all separate from the other penguins out in the exhibit because we use them for encounters, and they have a very different temperament.
So these are the tame penguins.
Yes. You know, we never have anybody that comes to the zoo and says, oh, I just can't stand penguins, I'm over them. Everyone loves penguins.
How could you not love penguins?
I know, they're just funny.
And the cool thing about the zoo, you don't just like look at the penguins or watch them or watch other people do it. You get right in with them and you hang with them, don't you? Yes, you do. And then there's one additional note. Baltimore is one of the most accessible cities in America, by sea, train, or plane. Wherever we travel around the world, many of us are obsessed with connectivity. We're desperately looking for any available and free Wi-Fi hotspots. But here's the problem. Those Wi-Fi hotspots may be too hot in places like Times Square or here in St. Mark's Square in Venice, because they may be run by networks that only want to do one thing: steal your identity. Here are some important precautions to take before you connect. The FBI says to make sure your security is up to date and never store usernames or passwords. Then try to choose a Wi-Fi network that requires online registration with a login password. These are the most secure networks. And while you're online, don't forget to turn off file sharing. After you select the Wi-Fi network, the FBI also suggests changing the settings on your laptop to public or public network. That will block file and printer sharing from potential data thieves. If you don't already use a virtual private network, it's called VPN, now might be a good time to start. VPNs keep your data and communication secure from anyone trying to hack into your web session while you're connected to public Wi-Fi. And please, wait until you get home to check email or conduct any online banking because it's not secure. And don't forget, some identity thieves shoulder surf, so change tables or move around if you feel like you're being watched. One of the most common tricks for hackers to use in public places is the word free in their hotspot name to lure visitors. Tests have also found that Androids are twice as vulnerable as iOS devices to hacking. Topping the list of the riskiest places to use public Wi-Fi, Times Square, that holds the top spot, followed by Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris and Euro Disney. And that's just a partial list, and that list is growing. So do what I do, leave the Wi-Fi back at your hotel. And if you're going to do Wi-Fi out here, no personal banking, no release of your ID like your social security number or the 3-digit security code on the back of your credit card, and no internet purchasing either. All right, you're in Venice, you're in Times Square, you're in San Francisco. Have fun. That does it for this week. I'll see you next time on another edition of The Travel Detective.